All right, we are exactly two past, and we shall just get started. So, welcome to this year's last webinar by Industrility, and thank you for spending the next 30 to 40 minutes with us. First, some housekeeping. The webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be sent to all of you. Get the most out of the webinar today. You can ask as many questions as you can, put them in the chat window, and we'll do our best to answer them either during the session or towards the end. And if we do not address your question, we'll follow it up with a follow-on Q&A session afterwards. Finally, every quarter, we offer one personalized pilot to our attendees of the webinar. This is worth approximately $10,000. And please let us know if you're interested. On a first come, first serve basis, we offer that. My name is Achint Waria. I'm one of the founders at Industrility. I've worked in the industrial space in the manufacturing sector for 15 to 20 years. And I'll be one of your presenters today. But much more interesting, I have my colleague, Sahil, who is our resident AI expert. He's super smart, and he's going to share some real examples of use of AI in the machinery and industrial sector. So welcome, Sahil. Do you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. I am an AI enthusiast, and I've been working at Industrility, helping them solve business challenges with the AI. So really excited to share my knowledge with you all, guys.
Thank you so much, Sahil. All right, so let's begin. First, let's look at what's happening in the world of AI in numbers. We have all experienced this whirlwind of AI explosion in every job role around us. Just last week, I saw a news article that OpenAI is able to perform 70.9% of the tasks at human expert parity. I mean, just think about it, 79% of the task in almost 44 different job roles, it's able to do at human expert parity 11 times faster and at 1% of the cost. It is just getting better every day. So it's getting smarter. From an adoption perspective, 1 in 5 people are using AI today in some form or the other. Chat GPT, obviously everyone is omnipresent, but nowadays all your devices, all your applications, they're all AI powered. And what this is creating is from an industrial and the B2B space, your customers are expecting self-service in every interaction that they do with you. And so that's another trend that is happening is 75% of the B2B buyers like self-service, and they get frustrated when they cannot get answers right away. And finally, staying to our topic of aftermarket also, there's a very interesting article by BCG where they've laid down what are the different AI strategies for manufacturers to win in the aftermarket space. Instead of going into all the different highlights, I think one of the core takeaway from that is if you invest deep enough in AI across all the functions in the manufacturing sector, there's a potential of almost between 14 and 17% EBITDA growth impact on your financial outcomes. That is huge because all of that money can be fed back into product development, into acquisitions, into shareholder returns, and so that is massive impact of AI on manufacturing. However, let's face the truth. Almost everyone is facing difficulties adopting AI. You are not alone. And I think in the industrial space, the fundamental problem starts with the data. It's about organizing the data, contextualizing the data, and unlocking the value through the semantic inference. All the industrial companies we've worked with, we've consistently seen that data is siloed, equipment is aging with most of the data for that non-existent, and that is the biggest hindrance to implementation of AI strategies at industrial companies. The second big problem that we've noticed is there's a huge skill transitions. There's a problem of aging workforce, new workforce is coming in, and there's an inertia of organization to adopt AI. So BCG has this very interesting AI rule, which is 70-20-10, where they say 70% of your resources should be spent on people and process, 20% should be spent on technology and data, and 10% should be spent on algorithms. Think about it. In reality, exactly the opposite is happening. Most of the organizations are saying, hey, we want to spend a lot of the time protecting our algorithms and building the technology and building all of this in-house. And then you try to go and implement this, and if the people and processes are not aligned, the project never goes out of pilot. That is happening consistently everywhere. And then the last is, this is an interesting take on ROI. Instead of return of investment, it's return on intelligence, because now it's not just investment in your people, it's investment in AI plus people, and that creates both short-term and long-term returns. It's both financial returns, but also operational returns in terms of efficiency, relational returns in terms of customer relations and improving your customer satisfaction. And all of these ROI takes almost 17 months and above when it comes to AI projects. So these are some of the core tips that we have seen in the industrial space. Um, but let's bring it to home uh, from a manufacturer's perspective. Aftermarket is the best growth engine for manufacturers, driving 60 to 80% contribution towards total profit. So aftermarket is the best growth engine, and there's a huge potential of using AI in that space. So today, Sahil is going to cover some amazing demos in this space, but let me set the scene for that. In order to win in the aftermarket space, you really need to know your install base. And by knowing your install base, you need to know where they are located, how old is it, who has it, how are they operating your assets, and now you can be a partner in their uptime. Customers care about uptime, and you can be a partner with them to increase their uptime. But by having that install base data, now you can enable your sales team to hunt better, to increase the wallet share. And so that's a huge fundamental potential that you have, which is to improve your install base. The second, once you've done that, you want to sell more annual maintenance contracts, service contracts. But as you do that, AI has a huge potential to deliver hyper personalization, but also reduction in cost. And that's where you can use AI to optimize almost 15 to 40% of efficiency in that space. And finally, I talked about self service. Customers are expecting information now, they're expecting self-service, and that is really what drives loyalty, and that loyalty helps you sell more machines and sell more aftermarket. And so this creates an infinite sort of loyalty loop, which is really drives aftermarket growth and competitive differentiation. So in today's demo, we are going to cover some of these things to grow your aftermarket business using AI. And with that, I am going to bring Sahil into the presentation and for him to take us through some amazing demo in this space. So Sahil, over to you.
Definitely. Thank you, Achin, for setting the groundwork for me. So I can now just directly get into my presentation and help people to show how AI is actually being used in the industry. So as you mentioned, install base is really powerful. Every manufacturer needs to know where their install base is located. But the real problem is how exactly we know that where our install base is. So what uh, really we do is we take bunch of data sources. We take data from ERP, we take data from inspection reports, we take it from all sorts of PDF. Not only we take these data from internal sources, but also what we do is we go out there and look for additional resources. For example, we take data from satellite imagery as well. We take data from government sources. And all these information we are combining and we are creating a one single install base. And that is the most rich install base in terms of data quality. So I don't want to spend much time on this slides. So what I'll do is I'll directly show you how AI is directly being used and how exactly we are implementing it on the ground and how it's creating a real world impact. So right now, what I've done is I have created a one very simple demo, and what it basically does is uh, it we have a lot of data related to addresses. We have sent some parts to this location. We have sold something to this location, but we don't really know that that facility it exists over there or not. So to solve this purpose, solve this problem, what we have done is basically we took address as an input. We we call our geolocation service and we got these latest satellite imagery. Now that we have this satellite imagery, we can tell AI, hey, look at this and tell me whether or not water treatment plant exists over here or not. And guess what? AI analyzed everything and it say that yes, indeed, water treatment plant does exist. Not only that, uh, we can take the data from these satellite imagery. We can use AI to process these PDF information as well. So usually what happens is we have a lot of data, we have inspection report, we have maintenance report, and we have all these sorts of information. But what really happens is it gets locked inside PDF, and that PDF is never being accessed again. And so what we really do is we take these PDF and we extract information out of it. So this specific PDF I have taken from one public data source. And what we are trying to do over here is uh, extract the customer information. We want to know what exactly is the name of the customer, where that inspection was done, who inspection was done by which person, and most importantly, what is the contact number of that person uh, who was presented at the site. So this allows us to get most important customer information, which later we can use to contact, to make a contact with them. Having said all these things, that yes, we understand AI can do all these fancy stuff, but what really we got out of this? What we end up doing is we created this really amazing dashboard where people can see that uh, where their entire install base is located. Uh, Not only that, if you pay a little closer attention to it, you will notice that we have some additional info. We were able to get some additional information as well. We were able to get uh, we were able to merge ERP data with installed base data. What that means is now I know where my installed base is. And now I know that when exactly was the last time this specific customer did some sorts of purchase with me. What that allow me is have a look at this map and say that, okay, maybe we are doing well in this specific area, but we are not doing really well in outskirts. So maybe I should allocate more resources in this. Or maybe I should implement a new business strategy for this specific region because I'm losing this important area to my competitors.
This
Having
is
said,
this is amazing. This is amazing, Sahil. So you're saying you can scan the earth and find out, depending on your asset type, find out where either your machines or your competitors' machines are. That's brilliant because based on that you can approach them and sell service contracts or parts. So that's amazing. And then you're saying you could also scan PDFs and inspection reports and all of those to get the rich information based on which you are enabling almost the sales teams to be snipers when it comes to
exactly.
hunting for new business. So that is super beneficial. That's the only way I think companies can grow their aftermarket and sales by 10-15% when the industry is only growing at 3 to 5%. So that is super beneficial, Sahil. This is amazing what AI is able to do at scale.
Definitely. And this reminds me of one story that we heard from our client that uh, our reps were complaining that we don't have any room for much further expansion. We don't have much business. So what they were able to do is that they got their install base data right, and they were able to say that I understand you don't have anything in this region, but look, we have a lot more opportunity in this area, in this way. So that created a whole new avenue of revenue that they were able to achieve. So yeah, Achint, over to you if you would like to add anything else before we move to our next term.
No, this is fantastic. Clearly, I think this will help companies build a solid foundation in order to grow not only their aftermarket business, but also enable their sales teams to hunt better in terms of business growth. So this is an amazing real use case of how AI can be used to grow your business. Let's look at the second demo that you have.
Okay. Now, this picture, what you are seeing over here it is pretty common across entire industry. We have lot of documents. We got OSM manual, we got SOPs, we got our OEM manuals, and lots of more document. But if we ask a question, can we really make a use of that in a way that it's very e- convenient and we can provide some additional value? So, uh, my next use case is AI service knowledge automation. So what we can do is we can take all these documents and create a one single document. This single document could be our inspection. This could be a service sheet. This could be a maintenance check sheet, anything. So now, can you imagine? Not single human does not have to go through each and every document, identify what's important, and put it into a single check sheet. Everything can be done by AI at this point. So let's just see how it looks like in a real life. So here we have a same scenario that, hey, I have a lot of documents and I really need to create this inspection sheet, but I don't really have a resources. So what we really do is we ask AI to help us. Uh, so what we just did is we give AI a bunch of document and it generated this entire list of check sheet. It generated annual check sheet. It generated semi-annual. It generated quarterly. But if you feel like, okay, this specific check sheet check, I don't really need it. You just remove it. Uh, from my tribal knowledge, from my industrial experience, I know that one check is do visual inspection of outer component. This is not really there in any document, but it's uh, I know that from experience. that it should be added. So I just add it over here. So what a human needs to do is just verify and review whatever AI has generated, and that's it. And as a final result, what we'll be able to achieve is all these check sheets, either in Excel format, either in Word format, or even we can do what we can do is we can uh, do this, convert this into a digital format and connect it with SAP or Industriality's native uh, inspection feature where we can digitally do all these inspections. So uh, hours and hours of time with the help of AI can be reduced in basically just minutes. And all we need to do is just review it. Achin,
So
would you?
this is fantastic. I remember working in the oil and gas and chemical plants where the equipment would come from 50 or 100 different OEMs. They all would have their own OEM manuals, and they'll have all their own sort of task lists and maintenance schedules, and they all had to be created in SAP, and it would take them, it would take almost 2 to 3 months just to create all of these task lists in SAP. What you are now saying is just with that click of a button, you process those hundreds of documents to create all of the task lists, and then either create that task list within Industrility or you could connect it to SAP. Is that what you just did? Convert kind of 2 months of effort in a few minutes? Is that what you just did?
That's exactly what we did, Achint. Whatever document we threw at the AI, it smartly analyzed that, hey, this is important. We need to take this. Hey, this doesn't seem really important. We can maybe skip that in a final review. And at the end, it just gives us a field ready inspection or a maintenance check sheet. So that's exactly what we did.
Fantastic. Taking away hours and hours of reading those 300-page manuals, you've converted that into seconds of just output. So that's an amazing use case of AI, and I can see lots of organizations benefiting from that. So thank you. This is very very cool in terms of what AI is able to do. So thank you. And that's the fine tuning that you and the team have done, which is reading of engineering drawings and engineering documents to create these output. So let's go to the final part, which is this is great for OEMs. We then looked at great for service teams. Now, how can you change the experience for the customers and self-service? Can you talk to us a bit about that?
Sure, definitely. So what really happens is uh, 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 we have a lot of expert people that can resolve customers' query. But well, what really happens if we are scaling? We can't really just increase the headcount over a night. One more problem I think what we are facing is aging population. People are just retiring over a period of time. So what really happening is industry expert that can just quickly answer the query without looking at hundreds and hundreds of document that are those are also retiring. So now the problem that exists is we have so many documents uh, and we have a customer query. Now, some human, what he needs to do is go through listen to customer's query 24/7 and go through these documents and figure out what exactly is answer of his query. And the worst part is it's not really, it takes a lot of time. It takes minutes, it takes hours, and sometimes it takes days. So, what really interesting thing we have built over here is with the help of AI is something called TwinGPT. So in this, We have ingested all the information an asset can have. We have ingested parts related data. We have ingested its metadata. We have ingested all the documents that were associated with this asset. Now, all we need to do is ask it a question. So this is an example of one document that I have ingested. So this is basically dish, some parts washer. I just took it off the internet. And as a consumer, I don't really know that what is its water capacity. So what it will do behind the scene is it will go to this specific document and say, look for this specific query, that what exactly is the my water capacity. I should be getting that in gallons. 500 gallons should be the answer. And that is exactly sometimes. Oh, my bad. I have not ingested all these information and document. So it just went to internet and then got this information. So basically what step I did is I feed this AI all these documents. Now it will be able to answer us more precisely.
So
So
what you're doing here is essentially like Tesla provides my Tesla. You are providing my OEM. It's a white label platform to your to any of the manufacturers' customers, and now they can offer this kind of a self-service to their customers, and they can just chat with the machine and find those answers. They can you search for, let's say, part numbers? Can you search for maintenance task? Is the AI able to do that?
definitely we have a lot of things that AI can do. We can uh, we can ingest maintenance related information. We can do inspection related things. We can also ask it about a training that, hey, how do I exactly operate this parts washing machine? And if data exists, what it will do is it will go to that specific document and get all these information in just single query instantaneously, 24/7 at the scale.
That's that's beautiful, and I think this can have a significant impact on the OEMs. It can reduce the simple queries on their switchboard. They can reduce the sort of overhead on their support team. It can reduce the back and forth with service and engineering team. So not only does it create efficiencies for internal teams, but also creates customer delight, and both of those are of significant benefit. So thank you so much, Sahil, for this wonderful demo. I think that's very, very helpful. Thank you so much.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you.
so let's look at ultimately, as I said ahead of the session, ROI, return of intelligence, is really really important on any of these use cases. So for us, all of these are real customer stories. For the install based use case that Sahil just showed, we have seen a 5x sales potential where the sales team, instead of going after a universe of 1,600 assets, now they have a universe of 8,000 assets to which they are now selling with much more precise in terms of the age of the machine and what kind of services are required, and that is increasing the win rate of their sales effort. So that is a direct impact on top line. When it comes to service and digitization in field service management, there's a minimum efficiency of 15% when it comes to performing these digital services, but also in technical publication departments in terms of generating the O&M manuals, publishing them to customers, and giving them real-time view of these tech pubs. There's a significant impact of efficiency there. And finally, there are lots of reports out there from Harvard Business Review and others where if you are able to do self-service, if you are able to enable hyper personalization, there's a 22% increase in customer loyalty, which means they're more likely to buy more aftermarket business from you and more likely to then buy new machines from you. So all of these things has a direct impact on EBITDA growth and business growth. So I'm going to open up for questions, but I'll just recap. What you saw was Industrility platform, which is essentially asset centric. It's a white label portal so that as a manufacturer, you can go to market with a customer facing portal, creating value not just for you as a manufacturer to do better sales. It helps your service and your reps to do have more efficient service organizations, and for your customers to deliver peace of mind and better self-service. And so the whole platform is asset centric, it's modular, it's AI ready and integration ready with customers in all sorts of verticals. We are, certified partner of AWS. We are certified SOC 2 certified with a number of assets on our platform. And finally, if any of these use cases were relevant, feel free to reach out to us. As I said at the beginning, we do onboard one complimentary pilot per quarter. And so if this is relevant, we are more than happy to have you on board. And with that, I would open up for questions. Bhagyashree, do we have any questions in the chat?
Not yet. We're just waiting for questions. We have a hand raised by Himanshu. Himanshu, can you please add your question in the chat box or the Q&A section, please?
While we are waiting, I have a question, Sahil, for you. You know, there we go. I can see a question from Himanshu. Do we have such interactive forms of manual generated via AI? Yes, absolutely. So there are three ways in which these AI generated sort of task lists can be used. One is we take a list of O&M manuals from, let's say, ABB and Schneider and all sorts of OEMs might have their O&M manuals at a plant. We take that as an input, create a task list, and then once the task list is created, it can either be integrated into the ERP, or it can become an interactive task list in our platform. And then it can also, because we are using AI behind the scenes, all of this can be customized in local languages. And in the recent advances that AI has done, the localization is advanced so much far that it's even better than most of the traditional language translations that exist. So it's moved from transliteration to real translations, and the accuracy is super good. So yes, it can be localized in local languages, it can be interactive, and it can be integrated. I see another question, which LLM is being used? So we use a combination of, so I'm going to bring Sahil on as well, but we use a combination of LLMs. We use a combination of OpenAI, Claude, Gemini. So we use a combination of all three, depending on what task is being performed. So behind the scenes, we use all three. We have engineering fine tuning and application that is our IP that we build on top of that. And then we use other services like location service and satellite and external services to enrich that. But Sahil, would you like to add anything more to that in terms of what kind of LLM services are we using?
Uh, no, Achin, what you just said that it's absolutely correct. We use this suite of LLMs, ChatGPT, Claude. Uh, New model comes and go, but what really we do is we fine tune and we train them, because usually what happens is in this industrial application that data is really complex. So just giving it a data and expecting that generalistic AI can solve it, uh, we will be setting ourselves for a failure. So what usually happens is we do a lot of fine tuning and training.
All right, great. Thank you. And is there a way to integrate this with, there's a follow-up question, integrate this with ERPs, FSM, field service management, and CRM tools? So tell us a bit more about the integration projects that we've done.
Yeah, definitely. So it definitely can be connected with many sorts of ERP solution. One of a project that we are doing is we are connecting it with Epicor ERP. So whatever data we are generating is we are directly able to transfer it to customers ERP, so that both the system can work in a harmony.
And then we've also done some work with SAP, with Salesforce. We're working with Oracle. So there are other ERPs that we've integrated with, and so yeah, integration is definitely part and parcel of any of these projects. We've got 2 more minutes. I'm going to take one last question and then we will close. So, when O&M manuals are being auto-generated from multiple documents, how do manufacturers ensure accuracy, version control, compliance, and keeping it in sync for the customers? Do you have some view on that, Sahil?
Definitely. So basically, what happens is we don't really just take all this data, put in our algorithm, and expect AI to feed us the best possible output. So the key over here is closely working with whoever our customer is, understanding their industry, understanding what sorts of compliance exist over there, and training and tuning our models such a way that it meets their requirement. So I think this ties back to our previous answer that because this is an industrial setting, we do a lot of training and fine tuning.
Yeah, and then I would just add to that, we do a lot of, there are different ways in which you apply AI. There could be grounded AI, that means it's only grounded in the information that you've given and it doesn't look at internet, or you could connect, uh, you can connect it to various regulations like ISO and NIST and some CFR 11. You can connect it with those regulations and still keep it grounded. And so it will give you a much more fine tuned answer. And so we use a combination of those. And exactly as Sahil said, for every customer, we will configure and customize it slightly with the same framework that is built for industrial. So we are at 40 past. So we are on time. Thank you ever so much for spending the last 40 minutes with us. I hope this was useful. I think AI is a very exciting force, which is transforming all industries. I think industrial space in particular is a challenging one, but that means the opportunity is equally big, and this is the chance to get your competitive advantage when it comes to using AI early. So thank you so much for joining, and wish you a great end of the year, great and happy new year, and hopefully see you next year for the next webinar. Thank you so much.